Hi, my name's Brandon. I haven't made a video like this before, so I'm a bit nervous, but I'm really excited to talk to you guys about how I mix music. And today's topic is about EQ and focus, and how changing the different frequencies of your song can change how the listener pays attention to your music. So let's get a listen of what the song sounds like, at least the drums and bass of it so far, and we'll go from there. Ah, son of a bitch. I know you can't see me right now, but I'm just like nodding my head. I love this song. Biren, the guy who made it is fantastic producer. And yeah, I'm very grateful to have worked on a song. But here we go in here. So here's the EQ. This is right before the final limiter that I have. And you'll notice that there's quite a bit going on with it. I have a zero point 0.2 dB low cut at around 30. We have a again, pretty crazy 4.2 dB boost at 300. We have a 2.1 dB cut at 700. We have a 2.1 dB high cut at 10K and a 2.1 dB boost at 1.5. Now, I want you to pay attention to where your ear focuses. I want you to notice that when you have the 10K cut turned off, your ears naturally focus and hone in on the top end, like the hi-hats. So we're going to play it again and try to see if you can hear. Now watch what happens when I reintroduce this 2.1 dB cut. Notice that? How your ear kind of focuses on the entire mix as a whole? Now it's kind of focused on the hi-hats again. Your ear kind of focuses on the rest of the song. The hi-hats are still present and they're still exciting, but your ear kind of focuses on the entire song as a whole rather than just the hi-hats. That's one of the things that I listen for when it comes to mixing music is you want to make sure that the listener is focusing on the entire arrangement as a whole and not necessarily one instrument that's sticking out. So now, in the same kind of vein as that, we have this high boost at 1.5K. And I'm going to take it away just like before, and I want you to listen for the snare. I want you to listen for how forward the snare is in the mix and how taking it away kind of makes the snare duck behind everything. Let's have a listen. See how the snare kind of gets pulled back into the mix? Now let's bring it back. Notice how the snare now feels like it's more forward. And it kind of feels like it's just as forward as the kick drum is. And that's what I like to do in a lot of mixes as well, where I tend to have the kick and the snare feel like they're hitting at the same relative loudness, like the same position. You want them both, at least in this mix, which is very aggressive and exciting. I wanted to have the kick and snare feel right up in front. And this 1.5K boost really helps the snare come forward. Now let's go to this mid cut right here. I have a mid cut at 700. And let's listen to what it sounds like before and after. Notice how there's a bit of like buzziness now in the bass. There's like a going on. It's pulling a lot of focus towards those really buzzy sounds of the bass that I don't necessarily want in the song. So we're going to bring this back to the 2.1 or 2.2 dB cut that I had before. And again, I want you to notice what it does to the overall focus, like where your ears focus to. The focus goes from the wah wah of the bass to now what's on either side of it, which is the kick and the snare. Now the bass is still present, but it removes kind of those weird frequencies that I didn't like, and it puts more focus to what's on the sides of it. That's something that I've learned, at least to my ears. When you remove something, you are highlighting what is on the left and the right of it. So I love this cut right here. It really does a lot to the song. And again, your focus then shifts to the entire arrangement as a whole rather than one sound that stands out. So now let's go to what may be considered the craziest move in this entire thing, which is a 4.2 dB boost at 300. Now, a lot of mix engineers will say that if you are boosting the entire signal by over 3 or so dB on the entire master, it's usually not a thing you do. But when it came to this song, I really like how it brings out the kick and the bass more. It adds a lot of weight to the song. So I want you to focus on how the punch of the kick and the fullness of the bass kind of get lost a bit when I remove this 4.2 dB boost. So let's give it a listen. Notice how all the punch of the kick is gone? It's crazy. I'll bring it back. Just punches you in the fucking chest, man. God damn. But again, notice how when I remove this, the kick feels like it's being pushed back in the mix. So let's do it again. Makes your fucking head bob more, man. I swear. I love this shit. I love how these little boosts can make the song sound so much more alive. And again, one of the things that I love testing is, am I moving when I'm mixing? Is the song making me bob my head and shit? Is it making me fucking move, shake my ass a little bit? I just love stuff like this. And then what may be the strangest move right here is a 0.2 dB cut from 30 hertz. So it's essentially, think of this as like a low shelf. So it's just bringing this down a little bit. Without it, the low subs, like all the really low stuff, feels like it's a bit too much. Maybe a taste thing, but let's give it a listen. To me, it just feels like it's too heavy, too something, for lack of a better word. Just slightly, just a little bit. I feel like that goes a long way. Again, you wouldn't think like a 0.2 dB difference would really do much. And I don't know. To me, I think it helps a lot. One of the coolest things about this too is if we look at what these EQ changes do to the final limiter. What I love about this limiter is it shows you just how much these little changes can affect how much your limiter reacts to things. So let's watch. What I'll do is, see this button right here? When it's blue, it's on. When it's white, it's turned off. And you'll see that when I turn this off, the gain reduction is just fucking nuts. But when I turn the EQ back on, the gain reduction isn't freaking out as much. So let's see. So we got things going pretty well. I think max 1.5 I saw, but the majority is like hovering in the 0.5 to 0.7 range. Now watch what happens when I take this EQ off. Good Lord, yeah, we had 4.7 there. We get 2.8, 3.5, like, then I'll turn it back on. A lot less work on the final limiter. We're barely touching it. And it just sounds so much more focused. So I just think this stuff is so cool. You wouldn't think that a few changes like this could drastically change what the final limiter is doing. And you wouldn't think that it would be doing a whole heck of a lot. Again, like 0.2 dB, 2.2 dB, stuff like that. But it really does go a long way. And I just think it's cool. So if you have any mixing questions, oh my God, please ask me in the comments, in my DMs. You can email me. You can do whatever. I would love to help you in any way possible. And have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon.